So let's start with the Hill because that was first. I got to work on the Hill, worked in Congressman Weldon's office, worked there from 2005 to 2007, 2008. The only reason in pushing those 2 years together, I was pregnant for my son, William. So we're talking like 15 years ago at this point. When I was in his office, I started off as a staff assistant, got really lucky. I'm just a poor kid from Phoenix, should not be on the Hill. My parents do not donate to political people. They do not have that ability, right? So I worked my butt off to get up there, had the chance to get in there. So what happens in the office is that if you're a good staffer and you do your job and you can expand, that's what it does. So first it's constituent services, it's all the basic stuff, flag stuff, tours, all the fun stuff. You get to deal with a lot of constituents, and then you get to go work on different issues. So when you're talking about doing a budget on the Hill, you don't craft it. This is not something that staffers craft. I'm not crafting a federal budget. It's the CBO. That's the Congressional Budget Office. They will craft one. And then you have the right side of the aisle, which is the, Republican Study Committee. That almost jumped out of my head. And they will craft one. And then we just work on stuff. So our office will have our own set agenda, and we will go and do certain things. We're working on different issues, whether it's, the one that I was in, NASA was a big part of it. So we were really concerned with, are we being federally good with money at the NASA level? Are we being really good with the approps? Because my member sat on the Appropriations Committee. So that's the extent of my federal, right? And then I got to work on the education side, which is great because I do not like the Department of Ed. I didn't know that I disliked it so much until you actually get to work with them. It's literally 5 office buildings filled with people that think our children are numbers. So I know it at the federal face, right? So I don't want it. I don't want that in our state. I know part of our problem here is that we have grants from the federal government, and once we get grants and they lock into our schools, then schools have to do what they're told. I hate that. If we could get our schools divorced of federal grants, that'd be amazing. Everybody likes free money, so that's why they keep. And it's not free, right? It's ours. But everybody likes free money. Then at Sal's office, I was a council aide. And in Sal's office, it's expanded. I think the accusation comes from a text message that was put online from Sal himself saying, Nickie's a really nice person. She was great to work with, but I don't think she worked on budgets. And I was like, well, that's not true, right? So me personally, I'm like, that's not true. And not because I'm like, oh, it's a gotcha and I'm a liar. That wasn't it. So I texted with Sal and I'm like, hey, this is what I saw. What's going on? He's like, well, I don't remember. And I'm like, okay, that would have been better than like whatever. And he's like, well, go talk to the old chiefs of staff you worked for. And I'm like, I did. So I went and I tracked him down and I talked to him, and there was a bit of a falling out between the staff person and Sal. So I don't think there was like communication between them. They decided to post online and they explained a lot of what we did in his office. So you start off as a council aide, and in Sal's office, you don't stay council aide. You are whatever he tells you are. You take calls at 3 in the morning and you take calls until 10 and you do whatever he needs you to do because everything expands. And Sal was really busy. I mean, he's a hugely conservative, busy guy at the city of Phoenix doing literally the work that has to be done. And then the chiefs of staff would then send out all the stuff that you had to do. And that's how the office would run for him. So we could run it efficiently. So yeah, I did work on the budget at the city of Phoenix. And it's what you do at the city of Phoenix. You go, again, it's not crafted by the council offices. It's crafted by the mayor. They have a whole team that crafts a budget. They work with the city manager's office. And then you go department by department and you have issues and you'll work through the agenda items. And then we get everything back to our council members so that they could take the agenda items and go vote on them. But it's not that I've never said I crafted a budget. But yeah, there's definitely, you do work on them. And working means that you're tasked with, okay, it's your turn. You're going to go to the department. You're going to go to the parks department. You're going to go planning and development. You're going to go to meetings. You're going to watch stuff that's going on. You're going to talk to them. These are my questions that I want answered, because that's a lot of work to like put on a council member, and they have all this other stuff they have to do. So that's the kind of stuff I did at Sal's office.